Looking on a day today, is it nice to be back in the All Blacks body? It's freezing and miserable and awful.
Yeah, I guess it's the first proper team training back at it. But yeah, there's a bit of hail coming down. But yeah, exactly. Still keen as to be back in here. Very exciting to be back in here, rubbing shoulders with all the best in New Zealand and the world, well, in my eyes. It's been a good day.
Apparently the team sort of talked about the returning All Blacks like you, talking about what it's been like to get back in the mix and stuff last night. You got up and shared your story. I mean, what's that experience like, sharing it with the team?
Yeah, I just talked about my journey. Obviously, I last was in here at the World Cup when I got sent home, and just talked a little bit about my journey. Getting sent home, making the decision to come home then, resting the Swede, and probably the year that I had last year, not my ideal route to try and get back in. A few more injuries, and then just getting into Mitre 10 last year and getting some minutes under my belt, and this year as well, getting into Super Rugby and getting some minutes under my belt. But I mean it's a little bit edgy jumping up there, but everybody's supporting you as well, and they're not, whatever you say, that it's not like they're gonna hold you or think twice about it. So it was all good.
Sometimes you get injured and you've been out, and then you come back and you get injured again. It can be a pretty frustrating experience. So hearing those stories makes it pretty special to everyone in the team about what it's actually, and we're actually privileged to be here. We're all fit and we're all well and we're good to go.
That'd be quite an open, I imagine, almost an emotional session to sort of having those people front up.
Can be, yeah, can be. It's up to the individual how much they want to share, how emotional they get. Some are better than it than others, but it's just their opportunity.
I suppose that 18 months for you personally, the highs of bursting into the All Blacks in 2019 at the World Cup, and I suppose the lows of the injuries that you've spoken about. How difficult was that, I suppose, 18 months for you to get through?
Yeah. It was pretty difficult. I mean, the most difficult one was getting sent home from the World Cup. It was pretty tough time for me. Obviously, just with the highs of what come before that, and then obviously that low. But it's taught me a lot about just resilience mainly, and being patient as well. Can't rush injuries, and just got to bide your time, and also just giving myself a switch away from footy and being able to switch off footy and be able to just focus on something else and try not to get too caught up on not being there. I mean, as much as it does suck, you still got to just try to blank it out a little bit and find your own little hobbies or whatever to do outside that.
So was that as much as almost a mental adjustment for you to give you that away from the game when it came to, I suppose, plotting your path back into the All Blacks?
Yeah, I guess it just helped me realise that I've got to be able to disengage, and it probably taught me a little bit about what other boys are going through as well with their injuries, and a little bit of how to deal with them as well. It's probably the biggest thing I learned through my head mainly was, every day I was getting asked probably 5, 6, 7 times, how's the head? And you pretty quickly realise that if somebody's injured, probably don't ask them about their injury, try to just talk to them about something else.
What's sweeter, getting in the All Blacks for the first time and getting back in after having to fight to get back?
I would say two different feelings though. Like, I think the first time there was a lot more adrenaline around it, a lot more excitement. Well, I mean, as excited as I was this time, I'd say the first time was probably the most exciting. Probably say this time around it'll just feel a little bit more rewarding, just of what I've been through and what I've had to do to get back here.
Luke, I'm sure you've seen friends, teammates, opponents have careers ended by head injuries. Did you ever sort of think, did you ever have to contemplate that, or did you always feel like you were going to get through this?
I was always pretty confident. I mean, obviously, it is something that people get their careers ended by any sort of injury. So with any injury, it's something that can happen, and that's just what we it's what we've got to come to terms with as being a rugby player. But I mean, I was always confident that I could get back. I had a good team around me, and I did. So sweet.
Just time away and recovery time.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
Looking ahead to Tonga, we did a story last night talking about the guys who come back from the club. There's a real mix of players, lots of new cats. Are you afraid it's going to be incredibly one-sided?
Oh, look, it doesn't really matter to us. We've got a test match to play. We're just worrying about our own thing, and I'm sure the rest of the country is looking forward to seeing the All Blacks play again. It's great that we're playing against Tonga. We're playing against Tonga in Mount Smarts, which is great. We had a beautiful week with the Pacifica people last week, and I'm sure they'll welcome us out there again. And we're just looking forward to it. We're just thankful that the Tongan boys are here, and afterwards we'll have a drink together and we'll have a great time.
John, as coaches and selectors, do you feel that COVID sort of knocked things around in the usual cycle and that your time's compressed to look at 23?
I think, this is only my second year, but last year was an absolute nightmare, so this year's just been beautiful, like just being able to, watch a full super without being interrupted, and, having our leaders meetings through the year and just getting prepared properly. And I think we just come in here, we feel so much more organised and feels comfortable, whereas last year everything seemed rushed and way different preparation, so hopefully that will just carry on like that and we won't get affected by COVID again in this country.
John, what's your message to your forwards based on, I guess, what you saw last year? Do you need them to be better this year than last year?
I think Fozzie's challenged us all to be better. It's not about a unit or about an individual. It's about an individual. It's about everyone. Everyone needs to step up. We just want to get better all the time. That's what this jersey demands. It's the legacy of the All Blacks. It's to keep growing and keep getting better. And the leaders done a great job in reminding everyone of that. And and you can see in durable conditions training just how intense it was. And we all just want to step up and grow and get better.
And the forwards are who you're in charge of, so do you want to see them bring a harder edge this year?
Yeah, look, I always want to see the All Black forwards play well, whether I'm coaching them or not, so, and they know that, there's a high standard and expectation amongst the pack, and we just got to make sure we're organised and we're clinical, and then the rest will happen naturally. There's heaps of competition amongst the forwards, so that each individual knows that. So when they get in that park on the weekend, they're playing for something that's way bigger than them.
How do you balance testing out combinations over the next 3 weeks versus just getting the results on the park?
Everyone's got an opportunity the weekend. Next week's team might be a little bit different. We'll make sure that we give everyone a bit of time. How much time that will be, I don't know, and we'll just see. We'll just build closer to the Australian series. But right now we've just got to pick the team, and we'll just see how that goes in the weekend and adjust it slightly maybe for next week.
Luke, I know you spent a lot of time at 8 since you were last in All Blacks, been scoring plenty of tries. How do you feel you've evolved as a player between then and now?
Yeah, 8's sort of always been a position that I've quite liked to play, and it's sort of always been a position I've covered, but this year I've managed to get some decent time there with the Chiefs, and it's been awesome to grow that skill set off the back of the scrum. I think it's an acquired skill set that you just need time in there playing the game. So look, I feel like I've learned a bit this year, but I do know I've got a lot more to learn as well. But yeah, I enjoyed what I was able to learn this year around there.